So the next assembly that we are going to create is of a knuckle joint. A knuckle joint is a form of pin joint that's used to transmit tension loads while allowing rotation in one of the plane. There are many applications of this particular joint like link of roller chain, bicycle chain, chain straps of watches, connecting rods between locomotive wheels, valve mechanism of a reciprocating engine, windshield wipers of a car, and the list goes on and on. In this assembly, we are having four major components: the eye end, fork end, knuckle pin, and collar, and one minor component, that is taper pin. So here also we will follow the same procedure of concentrating on one component at a time. So first we are going to make this eye component. So let's hide all the other ones. Now in this eye component, we are having one particular profile perpendicular to another. So let's create this one by creating a new design. Go to assemble toolbar and create a new component. Let's name it eye end. Now create a sketch in any of the vertical planes. And let's create a circle by invoking the circle command. The shortcut for the same is C in the keyboard. Let it be of any dimension. And let's press pull it outwards. Now here, as you can see, this particular profile is like perpendicular to this particular profile, and it is joined by a rectangular extrusion. So what we will do, we will create a sketch, a fresh sketch in this particular plane which is perpendicular to this particular sketch, or basically this particular profile. Let's create a concentric circle. Let's trace the origin and let's place it somewhere here. Now for the inner circle, you have to remember the dimension. Let it be like 25 mm and finish the sketch. Now select the profile that is generated. Press pull, direction should be symmetric, and let's extrude it outwards. I think this much is sufficient, and click on OK. Now we are having this rectangular extrusion from this particular profile to this particular profile. So what we will do, we will select this and create a sketch over this one. But as you can see, this second body is hindering our sketch. So what we will do, we'll go to the eye end component and we will hide the second body. This is the first body, this is the second body. So we are going to hide this one. Now we can create a sketch over this. So let's create a rectangle, a center rectangle to be precise. Let's create a square like structure. Finish the sketch and show second body as well. Now select this region, right click, press pull, make the extend type as to object and select this surface and click on OK. Now the outline of fork end is completed. Just one detail is required, that is this particular section of the model. So for this, we will select this particular face, invoke the line command by pressing L in the keyboard, select this end, select any point over here, select any point, a vertical one, and then press and hold left mouse button so that we can create an arc and just close the region. Now finish the sketch, select this region and invoke the revolve command. For the axis, select this and click on OK. So this particular profile has been generated, but this is required in all the 4 corners of the rectangular extrusion. So what we will do, we will create a circular pattern and then select the feature. Here we are having types as faces, bodies, features and components. So here we will be selecting feature because this is a feature that we have generated here. And then for the axis, we have to select the green axis over here, which is not visible as of now. So what we will do, we will zoom out and it will be visible. It's it's good to go. Click on OK. So our first component, the eye end, has been created. Now let's move on to the second component, the fork end. This fork end is like dependent on the eye end itself, so we will be using this as the reference. But to create any component, you have to activate the head assembly and then you have to go to assemble toolbar and new component. This time write as fork end and click on OK. Now select this particular surface and create a center rectangle. Let it be of any dimension, but you have to make sure that it is larger than the outer circle diameter. Let's finish the sketch. Select this profile. Let's select this one also. Right click, press pull. Make the extend type as to object and select this surface. Click on OK and then select this and let's extend it by 10 mm here and let's extend this one also by 10 mm. Now what we require is this fork looking structure. We have created up to this much only, except for the hole that we will be creating next. So for this, what we will do, we will simply select this particular face and let's start creating a sketch. Now we don't know where this eye component is inside of this particular extrusion. So what we will do, we will go to project and select this particular body completely. Click on OK and the body has been projected to the sketch itself. So now we are having a clear idea from where to make the cut. Now invoke rectangle command again, this time 2-point rectangle and select this point by tracing from the projected sketch. Finish the sketch. Select all these profiles by pressing Ctrl, right click, press pull all the way down. But as you can see, this is also cutting our previous eye end component, which is not desirable. So what we will do, in this extrude palette, we are having objects to cut. So here deselect the eye end and click on OK. Now again select this face, invoke the line command, select this particular end, hold this left mouse button and select other end. Similarly, from here, hold the left mouse button and select this end. Notice the region is not closed, so we have to close the region as well. And then finish the sketch. Now select this profile, press pull. Again extend type to object and select this particular face. So the fork end is almost created except for a hole over here and this particular profile. So now we will create a hole in this particular face. Again, project this body, click on OK. Invoke the circle command and create a circle of 25 mm. Select this, press pull, and let's create a hole. Now for this particular profile, we need to create a plane over here. Let's create a tangent plane and let's start sketching on this one. Now here we need to find the center point of this particular profile. So for this, we will again use the project include command. And this time in the selection features, select specified entity and select all these 4 edges. Now invoke line command, find out the center of this one and center of this one. The midpoint is denoted by this triangular icon. Now let's create this as a construction line because this is not a part of this particular assembly. And then create a circle in the midpoint of this construction line. Let it be again of any dimension. Finish the sketch. Select this circular profile. Press pull outwards. And select this face. Create one more circle. A bit smaller one. Finish the sketch. Select this one. Press pull outwards. Now in this particular face, let's create a rectangle. Let's trace the origin. Select the whole region of the rectangle that has been created and press pull it like this. Now we need like 4 of these insertions. So what we will do, we will invoke the circular pattern. Select the feature, this one, and select the axis. Now again the axis would be this green one and number of object would be obviously 4 and click on OK. So our fork end is also created. Next we need a pin in between, a knuckle pin. So for this we will again activate the head assembly. Go to assemble toolbar, new component. Let's name it knuckle pin and select this face. Invoke the circle command and create a 25 mm circle. Select this, press pull, extend type as to object and select this. Click on OK. Select this face, press pull, let it be like 10 mm outwards and same thing in the other side. Next we will create a collar, the next component. For this select the extruded pin over here and invoke the circle command. You select this region, press pull it, again to object only and select this and click on OK. Obviously the operation would be new body. Now activate the head assembly and this time select the collar component and construct a tangent plane. Now on this plane Let's create a circle of, let's say, 4 mm. Finish the sketch. Select the profile, press pull it, and let's create a hole through both the components, that is the pin and the collar, as you can see. Now the last thing that is required is a pin, taper pin. So for this, we know this particular hole is of 4 mm of diameter. Now we have to see what is the diameter of the collar. It's like 37.577 millimeter. You can always check anything from this inspect toolbar. The measure tool, basically the shortcut for the same is I in the keyboard. Now create a new component. Let's name it taper pin. Create a sketch on this plane, let's say. Invoke the circle command. Yeah, it was 4 mm. Finish the sketch. Select this one. Press pull it like 37 somewhat. But provide it a bit of taper. Let it be like minus 3 degrees. It would be very less. Let it be 2, or let it be 1 only. So now all the components of knuckle joint has been created. We have the eye end, we have the fork, we have a knuckle pin, collar, and a taper pin. You can always revert to the original position by clicking here. But as of now, let's move them out here and there. Now in assembly, as I told earlier, we need to ground at least one component in order to have a relative motion or relative movement between other components. So we are going to ground the fork end and click on capture position. Now the first joint that we are going to create is between the eye end and the fork end. Just click here or go to assemble and click here, or you can use the shortcut key J in the keyboard. Select this particular end and select this particular end. The motion would be obviously a revolute one, and click on OK. Next we have a pin that has to be inserted between the hole over here. For this, click on joint, select this end, and the motion would be rigid. But here we have to get this particular pin outwards, like 10 mm outwards, because this much that we have extruded earlier. Now next we have to provide collar. Go to joint, select this face and select this face. And click on OK. And lastly, we have to attach this taper pin. So for this, again go to joint, select this end and select this end. As you can see, it is protruding outwards, which is not desirable. So what we can do, we can flip this component over the joint origin. This is flipping over the joint origin, and click on OK. Now our knuckle joint is complete. But as you can see, when we rotate this joint, is rotating like 360 degrees, and it is overlapping with the fork end component, which is not desirable. So what we will do, we will go to joints, select the revolute that we have provided, right click and edit joint limits. In this case, let's make 0 degree as the rest, and for minimum we'll provide -32 or basically -30 degrees, and for maximum let's provide 30 degrees. Just animate it and see. Yeah, it looks good. And click on OK. And finally, our knuckle joint is officially completed.